Does the Holy Bible mention that this winged lion represents the beast? It sure does. It sits right in front of the UN Plaza at 666 United Nations Plaza. But the devil is always in the details, and that little logo right there at the top of the screen, that's next on the trumpet. This is the UN logo, and it's comprised of 33 segments that are joined together that form this flat earth, and then it's wrapped by the acacia leaves. Everything the UN does is going to be under that big flat earth logo right there. And in New York City, their address is 666 United Nations Plaza. Let's see how many times I can say 33. The Tower of Babel is at the 33rd degree parallel. Mount Hermon is where the fallen angels descended to earth. Mount Hermon is at 33 degrees right there. Where the fallen angels came to earth, that's mentioned right there in the book of Revelation, chapter 12. And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth. 1/3 is equal to 33.3%. It makes you wonder why the United Nations has a permanently manned location right on top of Mount Hermon. Well, you knew that was coming. Hey, look, I got 33 buttons all the way down my front.
Me too!
In their logo, they have 2 sprigs of acacia right here. And what's the Masonic significance of a sprig of acacia? It symbolizes the immortality of the soul when it is presented to a master mason. Matthew 23:10. Neither be ye called masters, for one is your master, even Christ. Genesis chapter 6. That the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives, all of which they chose. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, the same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown. When the fallen angels descended on Mount Hermon, they all bound themselves by mutual implications, and they are the oldest fraternity of men. And remember that Mount Hermon is on the 33rd degree. One of the biggest books mentioned in Freemasonry is Morals and Dogma, and this was written for the Supreme Council of the 33rd degree, and they're located right there in Charleston, South Carolina. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. That is a sprig of acacia. That stuff right there. Revelation chapter 20. And when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the 4 quarters of the earth. 4 quarters, not 4 corners.
More and more of these so-called satellites, which are in fact helium balloons, are falling around our flat plane. This is just another one which fell down over the country of Brazil.
É grande essa porra, viu? Eu sou dizendo que ele tá mandando. Não, mas não vai só a luz. Não, isso aí vai sair mais não. Lona tem muita ainda, cara. Lona e lona pra quem quiser aí. Quero só da cor. Ah, você tá botando caminhão, ó. Isso aí não serve pra gente. Alguém tem uma faca aí na cinta? Vamos ver se nós tira direito aqui. Até falar esse bicho pra lá, não tem problema. Vamos puxar ele pra lá? Eu quero só a corda. Vamos puxar ele pra lá? Vamos tirar ele daqui.
The English word NASA in Hebrew translates to deceive. NASA is spelled N-A-S-A, and there is always a T through the middle of the word NASA on their logo. Each time NASA has ever launched a rocket, they say T-. Now, if you look at the letters NASA and then a T, this is simply an anagram for S-A-T-A-N. Oh, which coincidentally spells Satan, and everyone knows Satan is a deceiver. So Satan deceives. NASA in Hebrew means deceive, and this is why They are putting it right in front of your face because they lie about everything. They lie about the planets, they lie about the stars, they lie about the earth, the sun. They lie and they deceive us in every single way. NASA in Hebrew means to deceive.
Somebody explain to me why this moon right here is below the horizon.
Please can someone help explain how on this flight the moon is below the horizon by quite some way. Moon horizon.
If the Earth is 25,000 miles in circumference, there must exist a curvature drop of 8 inches times the mile when you square the mile. 1 mile means there should be an 8-inch curvature drop. 2 miles, 2 times 2 times 8 is 32. That's 32-inch drop. 3 miles would be a 72-inch drop. And this would exponentially continue. Here's the longest bridge in the world, the Danyang Gongchang Grand Bridge in China. 102.4 miles long. There should exist nearly 7,000 feet of curvature drop in that bridge. 7,000 foot curvature drop. Do you see it? It ain't there. Look at the horizon. It's flat.
Another so-called satellite fell down over the Amazon region in Brazil. Why are all those satellites falling down attached to balloons? I think we know the answer. It's because there are no satellites in space. All they show us in our textbooks are nothing but CGI imagination. Here you see one that was photographed right when it was passing in front of the moon. I uploaded a similar video a couple of days ago and TikTok took it down within 30 seconds. They try really hard to hide the fact satellites are all floating up there with the help of balloons. There is nothing in so-called space. There is a firmament above us and nothing gets past the firmament. That so-called Chinese balloon was nothing but a satellite gone astray. We flat earthers try really hard to wake the masses up, but they choose to believe the lies of NASA. We have done all we can. It's no more our responsibility. They have chosen to be deceived. Deceived there will be. Just wait until Project Blue Beam gets implemented.
Wait. Were you under the impression that seasons suggest that we're on a ball? It actually proves that the Earth is flat. Let me explain. So I'm supposed to believe that the Sun is 93 million miles away from the Earth, and seasons are caused by the simple tilt of the Earth as it orbits the Sun? Yeah, there's a lot of problems with the heliocentric model, but this one is really obvious. The sun rays are coming in 93 million miles away, okay? Just picture this. The rays are traveling through a space vacuum 93 million miles away. The warmth of the sun 93 million miles away. Now I'm supposed to believe that the tilt of the earth causes winter and summer, and the angle of the light does this. If the warmth of the sun already traveled 93 million miles, I don't think it would care for the simple tilt of the earth. I don't think it would cause winter and summer. But it only gets worse the more I look into this model. Perihelion is the point of the Earth's orbit that is nearest to the Sun. This always happens in early January and about 2 weeks after the December solstice. Aphelion is a point of Earth's orbit that is furthest away from the Sun. It always happens in early July, about 2 weeks after the June solstice. The perihelion, us being closest to the Sun, is in January. That's when we have winter. 91.4 million miles away. The aphelion, which is in July, 94.5 million miles away. So I'm supposed to believe that during the summer we're farthest away from the sun, and during winter we're closest to the sun? That doesn't make any sense. But in reality, on a flat earth model, the sun just gets closer and further away from the North Pole, causing seasons. For example, on the sun's innermost rotation around our flat earth, that's when Alaska could see 24-hour days, and Antarctica can never see 24-hour days. All those videos are fake. Before you go on enjoying your day or night, just remember, this model spawned from the Big Bang, just a random explosion. Why is there so many sixes lining up with this globe if it came from a cosmic explosion?
If the sun
sun is over here, and the moon is over here. Sun's over here, moon's back over there. That means someone in this world, if it's round, cannot see either one. Make that make sense.
I'm going to present to you now to more so-called satellites, which are really high-altitude balloons that fell down. This first one fell down over the jungles of Peru in South America. NASA and other so-called space agencies always display images of satellites as being in space, orbiting a ball Earth. The truth of the matter is that satellites in space do not exist. They are all state-of-the-art equipment hanging on balloons. The internet and all communications depend in reality on under-the-oceans cables. All communication rely heavily on these undersea cables. Here you see one of these satellite balloons floating in front of the moon. And this is the second so-called satellite, which fell over in Congo, a country in Africa. You will always see these so-called satellites tied to giant helium balloons. There is absolutely no satellites in space.
Have you met Mr. Blue Marble, Robert Simon?
The last time anyone took a photograph from above low Earth orbit that showed an entire hemisphere was in 1972 during Apollo 17. NASA's Earth Observing System satellites were designed to give a checkup of Earth's health. By 2002, we finally had enough data to make a snapshot of the entire Earth. So we did. The hard part was creating a flat map of the Earth's surface with 4 months of satellite data. Reto Stockley, now at the Swiss Federal Office of Meteorology and Climatology, did much of this work. Then we wrapped the flat map around a ball. My part was integrating the surface, clouds, and oceans to match people's expectations of how Earth looks from space. That ball became the famous blue marble.
Flight Santiago to Sydney. This Boeing's average cruise speed 650 miles per hour. But at 600 miles per hour, traveling this 7,055-mile trip should take less than 12 hours. But this is the route if the Earth were flat. But we will round up to 12,000 miles to give the globe a chance. Looks like a long trip on our flat Earth, doesn't it? So let's do the math we don't know about. A 12,000-mile trip divided by an average 600 miles per hour speed is 20 hours. What are we missing? That's right, jet streams. Did you know about them? Jet streams can reach up to 275 miles per hour. Now if our plane took those helpful stream, that would help us gain time. With an average 850 miles per hour speed into 12,000-mile trip gets us the proper timing. Thanks for joining me today on Flights Explained on Our Flat Earth. These are the jet streams of wind around Antarctica. Planes fly in these to gain time. What makes more sense? This looks a bit patched up, if you know what I mean. There is a bit more elegance to this, don't you think?
You do not live on a spinning ball covered in water. Centrifugal force is the opposite to what you think. Water doesn't stick to spinning objects, especially one that curves in every direction. It doesn't matter how you spin water, the centrifugal force will push it away. I mean, it's basic science. How do you think a washing machine removes the water from your clothes? You're supposed to be on a ball spinning 1,000 miles per hour, orbiting the sun at 66,000 miles per hour while shooting through the galaxy at 500,000 miles per hour. That's also moving at 1.2 million miles per hour. Yet none of those speeds match anything we experience in reality. In fact, it's completely insane to suggest such a notion. Bodies of water always find an equilibrium. When they're at rest, the surface is completely flat. It's time to realize the math ain't mathing and the science ain't sciencing. You can't even make it make sense. You're not a random mutated monkey man living on an accidental rocket ball, so follow and bind your mind to find out where you really live.
Another uneducated, indoctrinated globetard here who can't comprehend or understand and wrap his head around how Polaris, the North Star, stays directly above our North Pole and never moves, even though we're spinning 1,100 miles an hour while going around the sun 66,600 miles an hour while tilted at 66.6 degrees. A lot of 666s in there, but that's a whole nother issue. Okay, let me break it down for you with this little pencil. Can you comprehend that this is tilted 66.6 degrees? Our North Star is up here. Well, as we're going around our sun, my guy, the tilt would change as you're going. That would mean the North Star would have to be moving at light speeds to keep up with that direction directly above our North Pole. Does that help you, Globetard?
The Bible has all these verses in it that teaches the flat earth. This is a whole list right here of scriptures that teaches that the sun is the one that moves, not the earth.
The flat earth map dates back over 1,000 years. This map is credited to being created by a Persian astronomer, Al-Biruni, who lived between 975 AD to 1048 AD. It's the official map of the United Nations and also the United States Geological Survey. It used to be present in many places before the creation of NASA and the Antarctic Treaty in 1959. Here you see it with Admiral Byrd. This map has been restored by Dmitry from Russia with suggestions of mine, Eddie Alenkar. Known by my YouTube channel Flat Earth Banjo, I asked Dmitry to include the Bermuda Triangle and Point Nemo, a place deep in the Pacific where NASA buries rockets. Then Robert Tozzi, a professional mapmaker, came along and enhanced the map even more. There are many people now selling this map online, but if you could order it from my online store, I would greatly appreciate it. Visit my online store today and order one of the items. I humbly thank you.